Howdy, Ags, and welcome to the Denton County A&M Club's 2020 muster, our first ever virtual muster. My name is Elliott.Beard, class of 05, and I am your muster chair. I admit the idea of a virtual muster at first seemed a poor substitute to me to our normal in-person muster. However, the more I thought about it and the more we discussed it as a group, it seemed important to continue this great tradition, that we muster together during this time. What greater tradition do we have than honoring our fallen Aggie brethren? So we decided we didn't want to let a year go by without doing so. Since we can't meet in person and light candles together in person, I invite you to light a candle at home for your fallen loved one, if you so wish. So welcome, Ags. And I do hope that this brings you a little light from the Aggie spirit during these trying times. Speaking of Aggie spirit, did y'all know that we have over 7,500 Aggies in Denton County? Our numbers are great here, Ags. You are the Aggie Network, and the Aggie Network has great numbers here in Denton County. We have been blessed to see many of y'all's faces at our musters over the years, and I thank you for your support, your good cheer, your camaraderie, and ultimately for helping us fund local Aggie scholarships. We are certainly about camaraderie and keeping the local Aggie spirit alive, but ultimately our end-all be-all goal is to fund local Aggie scholarships, to provide them to deserving local Denton County kids who are going off to be Aggie freshmen and have that powerful, life-changing experience that is attending Texas A&M. Muster is our biggest annual fundraiser by far. It is the primary source of funding for those scholarships, and we are still awarding those scholarships now in 2020. So, great news. We do need your help, however, keeping the coffers full to continue that effort since we are not having our in-person muster. You all can do that a few ways. You can go online and renew your membership with the club. Prices range from $10 for current students to $35 for a family, so not bad for an entire year. You can also just make direct donations or sponsorships if you want to consider that to the club. All of those can be done on our website. We are keeping our great silent auction going that we have at Aggie Muster every year. We move that online to 32auctions.com. I'll provide a link to that and our website at the end. And if you're interested in other sponsorship opportunities for your business or your name to get it out there, please let me or another club officer know, because we have different options for that. Again, I will provide links and contact info at the end of the ceremony. Fortunately, we do have enough in the bank to provide our 2020 scholarships, as mentioned. But we do rely on y'all's support to keep that going. So thank you again for your continued support. Thank you for helping fund just this amazing experience that is going to Aggieland. And I do want to tell you that it makes the difference for some of our applicants, whether they get enough scholarships or not, makes the difference in whether they choose A&M or not. So scholarships can really make the difference in changing lives. So thank you again for helping keep the Aggie spirit alive. Thank you. On that note, I'm going to turn it over to Christina Moore, class of 05, who is not only our scholarship chair, but does countless things to help muster happen in the background. So thank you very, very much for all that you do for our club, Christina.
Howdy, Denton County. I am Christina Moore, class of 05, and I am the scholarship chair for the club. This year we had over 40 very impressive applicants to choose from. From this pool, the club chose these 6 Aggies to receive our scholarship. It was a tough decision as we have some great local talent headed to Aggieland this fall. We want to say congratulations to Hollis Gleason from Sanger High School, Ashlyn Murphy from the Colony High School, Nicholas Hines from Denton High School, Jasmine Juarez from Pilot Point High School, Alexis Gassman from Lone Star High School, and Brittany Stair from Marcus High School. A banquet honoring these future Aggies will take place at a later time. And as always, we thank you for your continued support of the club that helps fund our scholarships. The Muster Tradition. Century-old roots provide the basis for muster as Aggies know it today. It has changed, yet the spirit in which it was established remains the same. Since the founding of Texas A&M, every Aggie has lived and become a part of the Aggie spirit. What we feel today is not just the camaraderie of fellow Aggies, it is the spirit of hundreds of thousands of Aggies who have gone before us and who will come after us. Muster is how that spirit is remembered and celebrated, and it will always continue to unite Texas A&M and the Aggie family. A&M may change, but the spirit never will. In the beginning. Aggies gathered together on June 26, 1883, to live over again their college days, the victories and defeats won and lost upon the drill field and in the classroom. By April 21, 1903, this annual gathering evolved into a celebration of Texas independence on San Jacinto Day. These early meetings included field games and banquets for Aggies to reflect and celebrate their memories of Aggieland. Let every alumni answer a roll call, wrote the former students. It was not until 1922, however, that April 21st became the official day of events for all Aggies. Thus, the annual tradition of muster was born. The March 1923 Texas Aggie urged, "If there is an A&M man, within 100 miles of you, you are expected to get together, eat a little, and live over the days you spent at the A&M College of Texas." Bigger and better. Still remembering and honoring the time spent in Aggieland, their tradition of muster has grown in strength, in meaning, and in spirit. By 1929, the meetings had spread worldwide, and in 1942, Aggie muster gained international recognition. 25 men, led by General George Moore, 08, mustered during the Japanese siege of the Philippine island of Corregidor. Knowing that muster might soon be called for them, these Aggies embodied the commitment, dedication, and friendship that is the essence of the Aggie spirit. They risked their lives to honor their beliefs and values. That small group of Aggies on an outpost during World War II inspired what has developed into one of our greatest traditions. Today, muster is celebrated in more than 300 locations worldwide, with the largest ceremony taking place on the Texas A&M campus in College Station. The ceremony brings together more Aggies worldwide on one occasion than any other event.
Normally, at this point in our program, we would have our speaker. And while it was certainly an option to have him speak virtually, remotely to everybody, we decided to save the awesome experience of hearing Dat Nguyen, class of 98, speak for our in-person muster next year in 2021. So essentially, and he graciously agreed, essentially our 2020 muster will simply be slid 1 year forward to 2021 as far as plans go. We will have Dat Nguyen, 98, speak. We will be in Royal Affairs Ballroom in Louisville, and we will be catered again by wonderful Aggie-owned and operated Cartwright's Ranch House out of Denton. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. Next, we'll turn it over to Scott Windrow, class of 85, to read the last core trip. After that, we will have roll call, and I simply wanted to note that usually at our in-person muster, we have a lot of write-ins for roll call that we get, the day of, as people review the all-encompassing roll call list, which is typically 1,600 to 1,800 plus Aggies from around the world. Obviously, that's a little bit complicated this year, so if you didn't get us a name in advance, I apologize that name is not being read tonight, but please let me know, and we will honor your Aggie next year.
The last core trip. It was Judgment Day in Aggie land. Intenseness filled the air. All knew there was a trip at hand, but not a soul knew where. Assembled on the drill field was the world-renowned 12th man, the entire Fighting Aggie team in the famous Aggie band. And out in front with Royal Guard, the reviewing party stood. St. Peter and his angel staff were choosing bad from good. First, he surveyed the Aggie team and in terms of an angel swore By Jove, I do believe I've seen this gallant group before. I've seen them play since way back when, and they've always had the grit. And I've seen them lose and I've seen them win, but I've never seen them quit. No need for us to tarry here, deciding upon their fates. 'Tis plain as the halo on my head that they've opened heaven's gates. And when the 12th man heard this, they let out a mighty yell that echoed clear to heaven and shook the gates of hell. And what group is this upon the side? St. Peter asked his aid, that swelled as if to burst with pride when our judgment made. Why, sir, that's the Cadet Corps that's known both far and wide for backing up their fighting team, whether they won, lost, or tied. Well, then, said St. Peter, it's very plain to me that within the realms of heaven they should spend eternity. And had the Texas Aggie band at once commenced to play, for their fates too we must decide upon this crucial day. And the drum major, so hearing, slowly raised his hand and said, boys, let's play the spirit for the last time in Aggie land. And the band poured forth the anthem in notes both bright and clear, and 10,000 Aggie voices sang the song they hold so dear. And when the band had finished, St. Peter wiped his eyes and said, it's not hard to see, they're meant for paradise. And the colonel of the Cadet Corps said, as he stiffly took his stand, it's just a Northern Corps trip, boys, we're marching behind the band.
Denton County A&M Club 2020 Muster Roll Call. This is a ceremony we honor the memories of our fellow A&M men and women whose death prevents them from answering the roll call at this year's muster. The roll is symbolic roll call of all students and former students whom death has taken from our ranks, but whose memories live on in our hearts. As each name is called, please answer here to let them know that their spirit is still with us. William Bill Baskin, 44, here. Robert Cagle, 48. George Klein, 51. Tommy Darnell, 57. George Dillon, 58. Gerald Jordan, 58. Norman Arthwing, 60. Mark Jackson, 64. Thomas Harvard, 67. Dell Shankles, 69. Don Cleveland, 70. Amelia Cirillo, 75. Roy Burnett, 77. Mary Lee Archer, 82. Evan Grant, 19. Luke Laufenberg, 20. And Don Hartman, age 94, class year not available. Thank you.
In Memoriam. We stood a little taller and a little prouder then, when we heard the call of muster and the roll call just begin. We stood there all together and wiped away the tears, when our names were called out softly and answered with a "here." And so we've joined together with our brothers of the past to make our final resting place at Aggie land our last. We take a toast to our brotherhood wherever they may roam. For us the trek is over. Aggie land, we're coming home. By Lieutenant Colonel David Harrigan, 68.
The 2020 Texas A&M muster for Denton County is now complete. I charge each of you to remain firm in your loyalty to your country and your God, to keep warm in your hearts your affection for each other and for our alma mater. The 2020 muster for Denton County is now dismissed until April 21st, 2021. In closing, I would also like to mention that if you would like to honor your fallen Aggie from this year at our 2021 muster, to answer here for them and light a candle for them in person, that we would be honored to do that for you. God bless and Gigamags. Until next time.